Hi everyone, welcome to the third session of Field Service Lightning. Today, I think before starting the second session, let's recap what we have done in the second session, the last session. So we talked about the three components of Field Service Lighting. One is the basic platform, Salesforce platform features, where you get objects and other standard features. Then you get extra features through manage package, where you get the scheduling and optimization, the dispatcher console, etc. And the later you have mobile features which you get to uh, the mobile apps for iOS and Android. We discuss about the field service lightning for architecture, where it has a basic or application that is built in Salesforce, and where it integrates with the Click to get the scheduling and optimized results, and it also gets integrated with the Google Maps to give you the geolocations and directions while when the field service technicians work on the field. We talked about the permission sets. We have three different permission sets for dispatchers, technicians, and mobile users. Uh, We talked about the permission set, which we have for different roles like administrators, agents, resources, dispatchers, self-service, and community dispatchers. And each have two sets of permission sets. One is which gives you a general access on the field service objects, and one gives you access permissions to use the field service apps. The last session we talked about the trail mix that we have, where you can start and get the basic understanding. You can join the office hours, where you get to register for the sessions that is held by Salesforce. You can also join the partner enablement group to uh, get the updates on the field service lighting. You can register for the training hours there, and you can install the manage package. So that we all covered in the second session. And in today's session, we'll talk about the managed package, the pre-setup that is required before setting up the field service lighting, the use case. Remember, we talked about the amazing cooling INC, where they are facing some problems in the field service uh, management. So in that case, what is the use case, next use case, and what is the further discussions we did? And we have some working examples where we'll take it ahead and talk about some of the data models, the elementary data models for field service lighting. So first is about the managed package. So you remember I gave you a link in the second session. So in that second session, you can go and install your app. So you can just put it in the URL and enter the credentials, and you can install that managed package for all your users. So I have already installed that managed package, and I'll show you quickly how you can check whether that managed package is installed or not. So you can just type install packages in the setup, which will take you to the install packages, and you see I have installed it on the last session date. So once you install this package, Salesforce gives you an app called Field Service Admin. So you can just click on this Field Service Admin, and you can see that you have a field service settings and other objects in the app that is already available. So the first step is to go to the field service settings and enable the permission sets that we talked about in the second session. So once you go to the field service settings, you get this page, and on the get started page, you get permission sets. So you can see that there are field service, dispatcher, resources, agents, self-service, community, and admin. So there will be a button which you can click, and the permission sets will be created automatically, and then you can assign it to users. So if I go to get started and I try to go to the guided setup, it gives me that I don't have a permission to access this app. So it means that I have created the permission set that I have not assigned to my user. So what I'll do, I'll go quickly and I will assign these permission sets to my users. So I'll find my users here, my admin user here. So right now I'm doing for only my user, and I'll show you in the next further sessions how to set up different users in field service lightning. So you can go to user admin and you can go to here, edit assignments, and you can assign the field service admin permission, because this is the basic permission that is required to uh, access the setup. Then I'll assign the dispatcher license, because I also want to play that with see the dispatcher consoles and all. And I will also assign my dispatcher permission, because I also want to access the objects and other features for field dispatcher. So I'll save it here. So once I save it and I go to again the go to guided setup and I click here. Okay, I need to refresh this. So I have refreshed it, and now if I try to go to this setup, I think it should allow me to go into. So now you can see that it has not given me that pop-up, and it directly takes me to that guided setup where I can create my configurations like the service territories, work types, service resources, dispatcher, and agents, and I can customize appointment bookings and scheduling policies, right? So this is what we did, and we have created the permission sets. The next pre-setup that we would like to do, that we will limit the sharing on the field service object. So why we need to do this fields limit the sharing, because field service utilizes custom sharing rules that corresponds with the need and realities of the field operations, right? So in case you want to share a work order with an assigned mobile resource upon dispatch, but not prior to that. So in that case, we have to limit the sharing rules here. So in that case, what we'll do, we'll again go to setup and we'll search for sharing security, because that is the place where you where you limit the sharing settings for your objects. And we'll click edit here, and we'll limit the sharing for 4 or 5 objects, like first is service appointments. So if you can see, the default access is public read write. It means that anyone can access any other service appointment. So we'll do it, make it to private. We'll also make this queue to private, because we don't want to view the service queue by anyone. We'll also make the service source as private. We'll make the service territory as private. And lastly, there's a work order object. So we'll make the work order as private as well. There are several other objects where I think we should also do it on location, because location I don't want to access by everyone. They should not be able to update it, but I just want them to read only the location. So these are the basic setup. So you can just go and save it, and will uh, your all the configurations will be done. And then we'll update the sharing configuration for assigned resources. In that case, we have to go to again, not here, but we'll go to field service settings. And we'll check the dispatch service appointment with the assigned resources. So in that case, we'll see do with getting started. Oh, sorry, we don't have to go here, but I think there's a field service settings here in the setup. So in the field service setting, we go and basically update this checkbox where we want to share the dispatch service appointment with the assigned resources. So I've not done anything, but I'll check this checkbox, and then I'll share the service appointments parent work orders with the assigned resources as well. So I'll just save this, and my work is done. Secondly, I think there are some data integration rules which are helpful in uh, updating or calculating the geolocations and the exact locations for your field service work orders. So if you don't do this, like the the field service objects will not be automatically update with the information, the geolocation information. So in that case, you have to again go and enter the data integration rules. And there are several geo codes values which we need to check. And first we'll check for resource absence address. And we have to make sure that this bypass triggers is unchecked, right? So this should bypass the triggers. So again, we'll again verify the other values, and we'll do for service appointment address as well. And we can see that the bypass triggers is unchecked. We'll do for service territory address. The same is true for this as well. We'll do for territory member address, because this all stores the geolocation information or address. And work order address, the same is there for it's unchecked for this as well. And we'll again check for work order line item address, and this is true for this as well. So I think we have done for geolocations address, and data integration rules have been updated. Next we'll verify, I think we did this as well. We'll enable the feed tracking for service appointments. So that is also important, because field tracking, because service appointments chatter is most likely used for communicating the service resources with the dispatchers and all. So in that case, you have to enable this feed tracking. So if you want to enable this feed tracking, you can go to feature setting and feature setting, and there would be chatter. There's a feed tracking, yes. So in feed tracking, we have to look for service appointments, and we have to enable the field tracking for this. And what we want to track, we want to track the status. We'll check the status and we'll save this. So field service appointment is also done. Then we enable the entitlements, because entitlements is the proper SLA that works on the cases and work orders where you want your agents to reply to a particular problem or issue in a designated time. And entitlement feature is the same feature that you can enable in your org to do that. So to do this, you have to search for entitlement, and we'll go to entitlement settings, and we'll enable the entitlement management here. Now, as we have enabled the entitlement, there is a related list that should be available on the account page. So in that case, you have to add that related list as well. So I'll go to accounts, and I'll go to page layouts. I'll edit this layout, and I'll try to add the entitlement related list on this layout. So yes, I can find this, and I have added it. So I think we have done this, and now we have some page layout assignment that needs to be done. So the managed package that you have installed, it equipped with field service lighting with valuable Visual Force components, custom fields, and related lists. So these are exposed when page layout assignment is updated on the field service lighting one. So we have to update the page layout assignments for field service objects for profiles used by field service lighting. So in this case, again, we'll go to the object manager, and here we will we'll update the layout for service appointment. Go to page layout again. We'll click on this layout assignment button. We'll edit the assignment. And we'll select all, and then we'll change it to field service appointment layout. So this is done for similarly we'll do for other objects as well. We'll do it for service resource. We'll go to page layouts. We'll go to edit assignments. We'll select all and change it to field service layout. We'll again go to object manager. Now we'll do it for work orders. Go to page layouts, page layout assignment, edit page layouts. We'll select again, select the field service layout. We'll save it. Now we'll do it for operating hours. We'll go to page layouts. We'll go to page layout assignments. Go click on edit assignments. Select all. Select field service operating hours layout. We'll save it, and then we'll do it for work type. Talk about all these objects when we cover the next session, but this is the prerequisite that needs to be done before setting up the field service. So we are just doing it quickly, and then we'll jump into the real piece. So I think we have to also enable the emergency dispatch map for system administrators, which I think admins can use to test the emergency wizard, which we'll talk about later. So let's do that as well. So we'll go to setup, and will go to the profiles. And we'll select this administrator profile. We'll enable custom permissions. And we'll basically remove one of the permissions from here. I think there was hide map from emergency wizard, right? So we'll remove this and we'll save this. I think that's all for the prerequisite. I think we have done all. Now let's talk about the use case scenario. So you remember there was a company, Amazing Cooling, who was a big manufacturer of air conditioners. So his air conditioners are purchased by many customers worldwide, but will not take the worldwide scenario. We'll take a simple scenario for the US region. So they have implemented Service Sales Cloud to sell their products and Service Cloud to service their sold products to customers. And they have, as per the earlier session, they have decided to field service lighting because they were facing a lot of issues in managing their field resources. So, so based on the earlier discussion, they have given the high level requirements, like they mainly sell and service the products. So they basically mainly sell and service the products, the air conditioners in Los Angeles and San Francisco area. Secondly, their technicians only work 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. from Monday to Friday. They sometimes do overtime from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. They usually work on installation, maintenance, and repair work, and the resource required skill in installation, maintenance, and repair. So if you see the high level requirement, you can just get an basic understanding that they work in two territories. So in field service lighting, there is a service territory object, so which bifurcates the territory in which the field service is done, and that is just done to optimize the scheduling of the work, the management of the resource as per the territory, because you would not like to assign work for Los Angeles to any of the agents who's working in whose base location is San Francisco. So for that purpose, service territory is assigned or used. Service territory also has a self lookup on itself. It means it can have a parent territory and the parent territory can have a parent territory. So San Francisco area, they can be further divided into small other territories. So the service territory has a service territory member which tells you which member is associated to this service territory. And this service territory is also associated to the operating hours. So operating hours tells like what is the working hours for this service territory, and also there's a mismatch where this is also linked to the service territory member. It means like the service territory member can also have their operating hours. So operating hours tells you the basic time or the time in which the service resources work. Similarly, from the previous discussion, you can see that they also have the skills of installation, maintenance, and repair. So in that case, you can have there's a skill object where you can assign skills or create skills for the field service resources, and you can assign it to skill requirements to a work type or a resource. So we'll talk about the work type later on, but we'll only talk about the skills requirement, and these skills can be assigned to work type and resources, because work type is kind of a template, a repetitive work that you would like to create a template which stores the kind of work that needs to be done, the products required to service that product. that request, and also what skill is required to service that issue. So all those things are kept on the work type. So now, based on this use case, we'll go and we'll see what how we can create all these resources and skills in the application that we are setting it for the field service users in Salesforce. So the next thing that we'll do will based on the requirement that we have got, we'll create the operating hours and territories. So there are two ways to do that. One is from the objects, because if you uh, look into the application, we have different objects like service territory, operating hours, and you can also do it from the guided setup. So we'll see both of the scenarios. So we'll first go to the field service admin app, and we'll try it from the tab itself. So we'll create the operating hours first. So as you see, I don't have any operating hours as of now. I have some standard one which I got from the package, but I'll create a new one. So here you can just write the name of while creating the operating hours, you just need three information: the time zone, the description, and the name. So in this case, we will name it as field availability hours, and we'll select the time zone as the user. I think I'll check my time zone. What is there? It's Los Angeles, so I'll keep it as it is, and I will save. So once I save this, basically I get an option to add my time slots. So there is a VF inline VF that is being placed here, which allows me to add the time slot. So as you can see, the time slot is 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. from Monday to Friday. So this gives me uh, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I'll just drag it, and so this is the time slot that I want to add, and I will again copy it for the next day. So you can do it quickly like this. Copy to next day, and I have added my time slot. Now I think there was another requirement for that they also do some overtime from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. So in that case, we have to add some extended time here as well. So we will manually draw the extended time from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we will right click and do select it as extended. Just it will tell that this is a overtime hour, and we'll again do the same thing where we'll copy it to the next day. So like this, you see that I have added. We'll press on save, because if you don't do this, your changes will be lost. So you can see that you have created your operating hours, the first operating hours in field service lighting. So Please remember that these are the basic setup because without that you will not be able to proceed further and implement the basic the the important requirements for the field service. So secondly, the requirement was that they also work in Los Angeles and San Francisco area. So next step is to create the territory. So you can see there is a service territory object. We'll go to this object and let me see if there's any service territory. There's no service territory, so I'll click on the new, and you can see that there are several fields that is available to be added. Once I enter the values, I'll explain the relevance of each of the field. So my first territory was Los Angeles. I'll add Los Angeles. There's no parent territory because this is my parent territory, so I can leave this as a blank. I can select the operating hours which I just created, that is fields availability hours. This is the default timing for this territory which I'm assigning. I can mark this active as a true because if you don't mark it as active, it will not show you in the dispatch console for the dispatchers. I will add the address. I think let me search some address here. At 1000 West. This address here. So I have added all the address for this particular territory, a basic address. It may be my company address as well. And description. This is my Los Angeles territory. I'll save this. So we created one territory, one operating hours for our application. Now I think if you look into the requirement, there is also need for the skills. So we'll create a skill as well. Initially, we'll create with basic skill. So to add a skill, I think you have to go to skills. Let me see if I can get it here. No. So there's to add a skill also there's a two-way. One is from the setup and one is from this field service admin. But it will not allow you to add it from the here because that feature is not here. So in this case, you have to switch to Salesforce Classic. And then you have to go to setup. And here, if you search for skills, you can see skills here. So you can see skills here, and let me find one. I think it should be under field service. Yes, so this is place where you can create the skills. You can click on new, and you can enter star air conditioner. So other is like if you want to assign some users to these skills, you can assign. These users will basically have the skills assigned automatically, and you can also assign it to a profile. For now, we can leave this field as blank, and we'll save this. So our skill is created, and again we'll move to the field service lighting. Now remember we talked about the work type. So I think we can also discuss this work type. And as I said, work type is a service offered by a company. So like for the amazing cooling INC, the service are of installation, service and maintenance. So this work type serves as a template holding vital information like completion horizon, the skills required, and the parts and the estimation duration, right? So in that case, we can also uh, create and see a sample work type and see how we can use it to assign skills. So to create a work type, you have to go to this work type tab and you can click new. The work type name, you can create a work type for install air conditioner. So I want to track duration in hours because it basically asks like how much time it will take to install an AC. So I cannot track it in minutes, but I want to track it in hours. So it gives you two options. What is the estimation duration? So I can say that the installation for the AC may require around 5 hours. So I can give 5 hours. The offset is the calculates the due date by adding minutes to the service creation time. So whenever you create a service appointment, it creates the due date by adding the minutes or the hours that we have added here, right? So we don't have any offset, so we can leave it as blank. Maybe I think we should add an offset of service creation time. So it gives you a basic offset of some of the minutes that you can add. Maybe we can add for 2 days offset, and then we'll also check this like whenever you select this work type while creating a work order, a work for the technician, it creates the service appointment automatically. So we'll save this. So you can see that once we have created this work type, it gives me a skill editor. It's a embedded via page in the page uh, through which I think you can assign the skills. So you can see that I have a skill which I created it. So I'll just click on this and save this. So once I save this, skill is assigned to my work type. So now I think you have seen one way of creating the service appointment, service territory, working hours and skills and work type. Now we'll go and see the guided setup for creating these two, all these three again. So we'll go to again to field service settings, admin. And here there's a go to guided setup, right? So if you click on this, it will take you to the guided setup, which will allow you to create these from here itself, right? So we have to, as we have to create a territory, we created for Los Angeles. Now we'll create it for San Francisco. And we'll click on add. So once we have added, my territory is created. So once you see, you can see what is the name of the territory. You can assign the operating hours from here itself. So you remember we created operating hours fields availability hours. We'll assign it here, and we'll also give an address here for this territory. So we can give it as 200 Gary Street, San Francisco. it as CA, zip code as 94102, and country as United States. You can see how easy it is from here to basically create this territory. Now, we also want to create the additional work type, because if you remember, we have skills we had done for installation. We also need it for maintenance and repair. So we can also go and do it for that as well. So there is another option for creating a work type and skills. So we'll click here. We'll see that there's already a work type that we have created earlier. So we will add the work type as service air conditioner. We'll click on add. The service air conditioner will be added. The same set of fields you will get. So 3 days of offset is added. Estimated duration is 60. That comes by default, but it calculates in minutes, so I want to change it into hours, and I will add it as so. Service may take around 3 hours. I also check auto create service appointments and skills requirements. So as we have not created any skills for the servicing, so we'll create one. So once we enter this servicing and we enter, it asks whether you want to create a new skill, and I said okay. So it will create a new skill for me. Right. Similarly, we will create another work type uh, for maintenance. Maintain air conditioners. I'll click on add, and I will keep the offset of this. I'll change it to hours, and I will estimate the duration as I'll keep it as 2 days. I will change it to auto create service appointments, and as I don't have any skills for maintenance, so I can add. So I'll create this, and I'll also assign the servicing skill to this, and my work order is created successfully. So I think you have understood how we have created the service territories and operating hours and work type from these two different places. So if you go to work types, you can see there are three work types that we have created. And if you go to service territory, you can see that there are two service territories that we have created using the same operating hours. So I think this is we wanted to cover in today's session. This is the high level, the complete architecture of field service lighting, and you can see that this is the area that I have covered, how these skills are associated with skill requirement and work type, and how the service territory is assigned to the operating hours. So as this is very clumsy and very complex, so I have taken a piece of data object model from here and then explain it to you. So if we talk about the progress, we are in the third session where we talked about the pre-configurations for field service lighting. And in the next session, we'll talk about the field service resource and territories, how we create the field service resources and we assign it to territories altogether. thank you for joining today's session, and I hope you understood. And if you like it, uh, sh- please join our YouTube channel, sortofforce.com, and also you can join our Telegram channel with the same name, and you can post any questions, and we'll try our best to answer those. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good day. Bye.